Good afternoon, class. I saw that a couple of you answered my jokes in the morning message, and many of you were correct. But the answer to the first joke was R2 detour. Nobody guessed that one, I don't think. And the second one, many of you got correct. The animal that is always at baseball games is a bat. So nice job with that one. I am here to read the next chapter of Poppy and Rye to you. This is chapter 5, and it's called Some Words Are Exchanged. The day after they moved, Rye, Thistle, and Curly Duck crouched beneath the bushes and looked out over the pond. "There's one," Rye hissed. A fat beaver had climbed atop a particularly large mound of sticks in the pond not far from the dam. It was dumping and smoothing mud on the mound's surface. Here's a little picture. "That's their main lodge," Rye said with authority, though it was Valerian who had informed them of that fact only the day before. "How did they get into it?" Curly Duck asked. As the family went, Curly Duck was on the small side and rather plump, like his mother. "There's an underwater passageway," Rye said. "You have to swim deep to get in there." "Cool," murmured Thistle. Tall and sleek, with swept-back whiskers and narrow ears, she was a good swimmer. "It's not cool," Rye said sharply. "They have no right to come and just take over everything. Look what happened to our nest." He waved a paw. "Gone. You call that cool?" Thistle shrank down. "I was just saying the beaver's home is interesting." "Look," Curly Duck whispered. 3 beavers had surfaced near the shore. They tumbled and turned, smacking the water with their large, flat tails. "Big, aren't they?" Thistle said in her voice full of awe. "They look like they're having fun," Curly Duck said wistfully. "Fun!" Rye snarled under his breath. "I hate them. I'd like to give them a piece of fun." "When Ragweed gets back, he'll do it," Curly Duck said. "He's not afraid of anyone." "Ragweed's gone," Rye snapped. "Besides," he went on, "who needs him? I'm not afraid of them." Thistle stared at her elder brother with wide eyes. "You mean you'd talk to them?" "No big thing," Rye replied. "Except Ragweed wouldn't say he would," Curly Duck said and snickered. "He'd just do it." Rye felt hot. "So would I." "Dare you," his brother goaded. "Double dare." Rye, suddenly nervous, said, "I'll do it if you come with me." "You first," Thistle replied. Rye considered the beavers anew. "See," Curly Duck said, "I told you. You're no ragweed." Rye offered his brother a dirty look, then crawled out from under the berry bush. Wanting his heart not to beat so fast, he yanked his whiskers. He wished they were darker, stiffer. Licked down the hair on his chest, then headed down toward the water, tail tucked between trembling legs. Halfway to the pond, Rye halted. "You coming or not?" he called back, hoping to sound confident. Thistle scampered to her brother's side. The 2 checked back. "Well?" Rye asked. Curly Duck crept forward. The 3 mice inched to the water's edge near where the 3 beavers were playing. The beavers paid them no attention. "Go on, tell them what you think," Curly Duck said, giving Rye a nudge. "You know, the way Ragweed would." Feeling he could not back down, a jittery Rye cupped his front paws around his mouth to make himself heard. "Hey, you!" he shouted. The beavers halted their play and looked about with dripping muzzles. "Were you speaking to us?" one of them asked. "You're the ones who dammed our brook, aren't you?" The beavers exchanged looks. One of them paddled through the water until she was close to the mice. Her orange front teeth. The 3 mice retreated a few steps. "My name is Clara. Clara Canad. What's yours?" "Rye." "Something bothering you, Rye?" Rye took a breath. "You beavers just barged into our neighborhood and took over. Ruined the brook. Ruined the land. Ruined our nests. You're thoughtless and greedy." "Hey, fella," Clara retorted. "Making a pond is progress." "Progress?" Rye cried. "Progress for you, maybe. What about the rest of us? Who invited you here anyway?" "No one invited us," Clara replied. "Do you mice own this brook?" "Well, no." "There's a sign posted, reserved for mice only?" "No, And it's still a free country, isn't it? I suppose. Well, then, don't you think we've got a right to build our lodges here? But it's not right, a confused Rye cried. You destroyed our nest. Hey, sorry to hear it, Clara returned. There's always a price to pay for progress. But who's paying that price? Rye screamed. We are, the ones who live here. You just flood. I'd be more than happy to talk to you in a civil way, the beaver returned, but if all you can do is rant and rave, I'd just as soon not listen. She turned about as she drew away. She lifted her tail and brought it down hard and flat upon the water, sending out a great spray that thoroughly soaked the mice. Sopping wet, the mice ran off, but not before Thistle stopped and shouted back at the beavers. You just wait till my brother Ragwim, she cried. Well, and we know that ragweed is not going to return, so it will be interesting to see what plays out between the mice brothers and sisters and what happens with the beavers. So the next chapter is chapter 6, and it's called Rye. So maybe we'll learn a little bit more about this main character in the story. All right, have a great afternoon, everybody.